what's up, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happen? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, the gateway to new rock and metal music. We're inspiring young rock and metal fans to discover new rock and metal bands, feel connected, and find a place they belong. Oh yeah, guys, we are already into February, and this one is absolutely awesome. It is a quick-hitting, fast-paced, fun as all hell episode because I'm just not even gonna, mince words. We have Steel Panther on the show today. Oh my lord. But before we jump in the episode, I want to thank sponsor for this podcast, which of course is from Phoenix Fitness. So you guys know, of course, one of my favorite things to do outside of the podcast is mosh pits like none other. I mean, the 2 days after I shot this one, or 2 days before I shot this one, I was just in the pit for, Brand of Sacrifice era. We came as Romans and absolutely loved it. So you guys know I love to say mosh pit fit, and that is constantly going to the gym every single day, going and putting in the time, lifting weights, cardio, all that good kind of stuff to make sure I can go from the beginning of the first band to the end of the headliner and not get, gas tired, go balls to the wall all the time. So that's what I call mosh pit fit. But in order to say mosh pit fit, I have to prepare and recover right after the gym to make sure that I can continue this on a consistent basis. And you know what? I do, with the help of Phoenix Fitness. They have many of its products to help you achieve your fitness goals or be like us and get mosh pit fit. So what do? They have different types of pre-workouts, both stim and stim-free stuff. I use their stim-free stuff because, guys, this is my energy right now, like resting energy. Can you imagine me like in the gym, hopped up on pre-workout? Yeah, crazy. They also have different types of B-stable recovery compounds to help you recover and absorb the nutrients and muscles after workout. They have different types of creatines, proteins, whey protein, plant-based protein, collagen protein. I use their whey chocolate malt flavored because that's some good stuff. Multivitamins and literally anything you might need to achieve your fitness goals, Phoenix Fitness has for you. So our listeners get 20% use the code CPP20 at fnxfit.com. Link to another podcast. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness. And now are you guys ready for just an awesome straight 20 minutes of fantastic amazingness with Michael Starr from Steel Panther? I am so excited for you guys to hear this one. I mean, we're on the prowl, baby. Are you ready? Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. We brought on maybe one or two types of, that hair metal, glam metal style to the podcast. And today, this one has me more excited than any possibly could. This band's brand new album, On the Prowl, comes out on February 24th. They're going to be on tour right when the album comes out, supporting the whole time with support from some of our friends in Crobot, and you're not going to want to miss out on that. Plus, on Valentine's Day this year, they released their own dating app called Rock and Talk, and well, let's just jump into it. So please welcome Michael Starr from the band Steel Panther to the podcast. So Michael, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro. Good to meet you, Kevin. I've heard a lot about you. I hear you have a huge penis, which is killer for the chicks, and thanks for having me on, dude.
Thanks for being on, and it really is killer for the chicks. I really think they appreciate it. I'm not sure if it can hold a candle to yours, though. I mean, I've heard legendary things about it from everyone that's seen Steel Panther live, so yeah, I might be on the short end of the stick on that one.
That's a good one. I appreciate that, dude. Hey, it's good to be on here with you, dude.
Yeah, it's great to have you. How has everything been going for you guys recently? I mean, right about to go on tour for the first time in 2023. Support On the Prowl, get that bad boy out there, and just start ripping up some shows. So how's everything been going, man?
It's been going great. The preparation for putting out this record, it's been going on for about 5 months now. We finished recording it maybe 7 months ago. Then it got mixed. Then it got mastered. And then we have to do the artwork for it. And once the artwork's done, we have to do all the lyrics and we got to do all the thank yous. And then you package that up. And then once that's packaged up, you got to ship it out. There's a lot that goes with the release, more behind the scenes than people know, and the lead up time for it. And then, also we're doing all the press for it. And then we're doing shows while we're doing all that. So we're very excited to finally kick off the world official tour of On the Prowl that comes out next week. It's so exciting. And the first show we're going to do is going to be in Vegas, which is, I don't know who booked it. It's actually really dangerous to start us off in Vegas because it's hard to leave Vegas and it's hard to find guys after a show in Vegas. I remember one time we were partying. We used to have a weekly show out there and we were partying and we couldn't find our drummer anywhere. And we had to go to Phoenix for a show. And he ended up being at this club. It was a strip club. I forget the name of it, Darlings or some shit. And he was in the back room hanging out with some stripper doing blow. And like, dude, we gotta go. He lost all his money in roulette and he fucking spent all his money on blow. But we made it up in merch at the next show. So everything turned out good. So I'm sure the first show in Vegas will be amazing. It's at the Mandalay Bay House of Blues, which is an epic venue. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's really cool. People from all over the world come to see that show. And it's going to be rad. I think it's already sold out too. It may not be. Don't quote me. But I think it might be. I don't know. Try and get tickets.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys had already sold that show, especially with it being in Vegas for the first run of the night, first run of the tour. I have heard many crazy stories about bands going to Vegas and leaving Vegas, minus a member or two because they missed the bus or they didn't know where they were. Of course, what happened with your drummer, that is the most, sex, drugs, and rock and roll style of missing like the road down to Phoenix that you possibly can get.
You can't even get mad at him for it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you're living the dream, dude.
Oh,
but you got to be on time for the show. Otherwise, you're fired.
You can do whatever you want. Just have fun. Just go nuts. But just make sure that next night when the show is going on, that you're just behind the kit and you're ready to go. That's all that matters. But then afterwards,
that's all we're asking.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do is play the show.
Absolutely. And one thing I'm looking forward to is I was looking through the tour lap. I'm like, okay, I got to make sure, let's see where the dates are coming out. And thankfully, one of those days you're coming by me. So I'm just like, I get to actually experience the full effect of Steel Panther live.
Where are you
finally
at?
I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So when you guys come play at the rave, I think it's on March 28th. I'll be in the middle of that crowd just like, this is fucking awesome.
You got to be backstage. Come hang out with us, dude. Get a picture.
Oh, I'm going to find a way to make that happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to find a way to make that happen.
Just tell Kevin, hey, Michael said to hook me up with a backstage pass.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, do it. You got to take a picture and, it will forever be a history in your life where you got to see Steel Panther for the first time, not on YouTube, but actually live. And you got to hear Glory Hole up front and close. Dude, it's a really, I like to think of our show as a fun way to escape reality, escape the, all the burdens of being an adult or just being a kid that lives at home and has got to take out the trash. Or if you're an adult and you got to pay your rent, all that stuff, man. Car payments, insurance, health problems. Come have a couple beers at Steel Panther, see some titties on stage, possibly. You never know. And then, you're going to escape reality for 3 to 4 hours and you'll have a great night.
See, that's what I'm hoping for. And every time I go to a concert, no matter who it's for, whether it's the ones I love to go to where, mosh pits start forming, I'm in the middle of them just going absolutely crazy from the beginning of the set to the end of the set. Or if it's a show where, I've got a beer in my hand or, 6 or 7 and just enjoying the fuck out of whatever the hell is going on. It doesn't matter what it is. It's those types of shows where you're able to just sit in there or stand in the crowd, focus in on what's going on and only be lost in the moment. Those are the ones that are the absolute best that you never forget for the rest of your life.
I fucking love that. I remember we did a show with Metallica and Five Finger Death Punch in Austria. It was on our last European tour this past summer. And we went out and watched Five Finger, which is amazing. And then we went out and we watched Metallica and I'm just sitting there with our bass player, Spider, and we're watching, and Satchel's there too. And we're just watching them fucking rock, dude. And it was just nothing else mattered except what was going on. And like just to watch 50,000 people just react to these bands. It's a feeling you can't buy anywhere else. You can't simulate it. Like you were asking me if I'm excited about getting ready for the tour. And, part of that excitement is getting ready for the tour, like physically getting ready, running, hiking, working out. I'm doing better. I had a 7-course meal last night. I had a pizza and a 6-pack. And, I'm taking care of myself now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to think about it too. It's everyone wants to see that 6-pack. No one wants to be the guy with the big giant keg. And if you're going to move around on stage, it's a lot easier to move around on stage when you only had that 6-pack instead of carrying around, all of that liquid.
Another person.
Another person. Yeah, literally another person. It's like you're going to be running around on stage having a blast. And instead of, having just this whole other person feel like they're wrapped around your back. No. Just crack one open. I got 5 more right there. We're set, ready to go. And that's just in the first 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah, and who moves around still to this day is Mick Jagger. He weighs like 40 pounds.
A light breeze will blow over Mick Jagger at this point, but he still struts around the stage and still commands presence to the point where it doesn't matter if you've been into the Rolling Stones since their inception and you're basically, maybe, as light as Mick Jagger is, or if you're there with your parents or your grandparents and just enjoying the moment because everyone is into the Rolling Stones or into that kind of music as much as possible. Honestly, it's just somewhere you're going to get lost in the moment based off of that. So it doesn't matter as long as you're bringing it.
Yeah, you got to be lost in the moment. That's what we bring. We sell fun, man. That's our job. Make people laugh, make people have a good time, to the best of our ability. And, a lot of people bring their friends. They're like, dude, you got to see Steel Panther. You're going to love him, right? And their friend's like, oh, okay, cool. It's my friend. And I like him. So maybe he's right. And they come, or they bring their girlfriend and they come and the girlfriend's just standing there like this. What the fuck is this? You like this? And then by the end, she's like, yeah. I fucking love it. And dude, if you want to find the right girl, bring her to a Steel Panther show, or even just pop in our CD and go, hey, do you like this? And if she says, ew, that's so gross, that's disgusting, you don't want to date her.
No, at that point, you're going to end up pulling over to the side of the road and being like, okay, this is the point where you're going to have to get out of the car right now. And I'm just going to start listening to this and have a blast. And, just find your own way home. Call an Uber or something. I'll call you an Uber. I don't care.
There you go. Kevin, you have to find a girl that shares the same value system as you do, right? So if you like to party, hang out, and listen to Steel Panther, you need to find someone who shares that same value system as you. That way you guys can fuck. That, you know what that's called? A magical vagina, bro.
That is a magical vagina. Holy shit. Because I'm even thinking about this right now, too. I mean, what would be better than, sharing the same sort of values and all of a sudden you find out Steel Panther's coming to a city near you or to your own city and you're just like, hey, baby, you want to go out and see Steel Panther? And at that point, she might be looking at you and say one of three things that might be like, the way that is a magical vagina. First thing is, absolutely, I want to go. Second thing is, how'd you not know about this already? I've gotten tickets already. Awesome.
There you go.
And the third is going to be just like, is this even like a discussion? Of course we're going. Like, I've
already got tickets.
I got the backstage passes. I'm already starting to get drunk enough for this show. Like, I am ready to roll at this point.
Yeah, that's fucking great, dude. And I was trying to do like a segue, but that is one of our new songs on our record, Magical Vagina. And I've been doing interviews like for the, last couple of weeks, and people are like, what is the song Magical Vagina about? Well, now you know, dude. That's what it's about. It's about fucking finding the right chick that fits the mold, I guess.
Absolutely. Because even when I was going through on the Prowl as well, listening through the whole entire thing, for me, it was two songs that stood out specifically that really got to me. One was Friends with Benefits because I watched the video for it the first time I saw it, and I could just not stop laughing my ass off throughout the whole entire thing and enjoying the music every step of the way. But the second one that got me was your song 1987, just hearing all the references you made there and just hearing all the crazy stories that got thrown in there. It reminds me of all the times my dad tells all his crazy stories about the 80s,
so awesome.
Going to concerts, seeing Van Halen, seeing Rush, meeting Reggie Jackson at Major Goolsby's in Milwaukee, watching him play Pac-Man for an hour until some guy came up and said he sucks, and Reggie Jackson just kind of put out his cigar on him and left, and it's just like, okay, now how awesome is that? And he loves this kind of music too. He loves the 80s glam metal, glam rock, hair metal, loves 70s rock, all that stuff. And I was listening to that too. I'm like, you know what? Why is this making me think of my dad? And it's even funnier too because one, that's his kind of music. When in 1987, the age that he was is the age I am now. And oddly enough, the day we're recording this, it's his 64th birthday. So I'm like, this is all coming full circle to me.
Wow,
this song has got me
there's a reason why we're talking, man. Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's so weird. Like you're saying, yeah, my dad, grew up in that era. I remember when we first started touring, our second record, we're meeting bitches backstage and we're hanging out and they're like, oh yeah, my dad told me about you guys. Like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And you dig the band. I love your band. That's great, right? And then fast forward 2 records later, right? Hanging out with some chicks and they're like, yeah, my grandfather told me about you. I'm like, oh fuck, we're getting fucking old, dude. It's like, it's just generational, man. I guess the way you look at it, it's like, you start at one, you have some kids, you turn them on to heavy metal, and the heavy metal lineage just continues. And it's important for us to keep heavy metal alive because heavy metal is about, in my opinion, our style of heavy metal is about having a good time, having fun. And that's what's most important in life, especially, dude, after the pandemic, all the shit that went on and now all the fucking balloons flying in the air, all this bullshit. It's like, I don't want to think about that. I just want to think about pussy, having some beers and football and rocking.
That does sound about right. Those are the things we do want to end up thinking about. And I even think about it too, after the pandemic, it's one of the things that just kind of brought everything back to like, okay, being focused only in the moment and just focus on whatever's going on, having a good time. For me, it was always going to concerts, going to festivals, just being in the middle of the crowd, enjoying every aspect of it. And of course, for me, it was always the heavier the music, the better it's going to be, because man, there's something about when it comes to rock and metal, no matter what genre, subgenre within there that you really like. All that matters is that there's so many people around there that also love the same kind of music you do, get into it, and it creates this whole entire vibe where you're at a live show, you're with a bunch of members of like what feels like, this large extended family to a point where, yeah, we don't know each other, but we like the same kind of music. You know what? I'm going to get along with that person just fine, even though I just met them. Hey man, I'm going to get a beer. You want one? Fuck yeah. The amount of times I've been at festivals and been like, hey, you want to go get a beer or something to some random person, and then we talk for an hour or just go into a freaking middle of a mosh pit. It's amazing. And it's just something where we need to make sure that this keeps going, keep passing that lineage down. And it's not necessarily you guys like getting old, even if it's, hey, my dad told me about you, my grandfather told me about you. No, it's the fact that you guys are just starting to transcend so many different generations. So you're just going to be doing this forever and ever.
Killer. It's killer to have that happen. But when they start saying, yeah, my great-great-grandfather told me about you right before he died, what? But no, it's killer, man. It's great. And that thing, you're talking about like being around other people that are like-minded. It's the same thing like for Trekkie people who are into Star Trek and they go to the conventions. Mm-hmm. They totally connect together because they have something in common. And that's the cool thing about heavy metal people or people who love live music. You go there, you meet someone who likes live music, and then hopefully you're having sex with the girl after the show,
I mean, that's always one of the hopes, but when it comes to thinking about Steel Panther too, when it comes to thinking about you guys, I mean, I'm looking forward to going to see the show just to, make it like especially for Milwaukee too. I mean, we love beer here. It's called the Brew City for a reason. What's going to be better than standing in a room with, thousands of people together, enjoying, having a good time, listening to some kick-ass music, and trying to drink the city of Milwaukee dry at that point. I mean,
yeah, totally. And there's another band we have out with us, two bands. One of them is opening up the show is a band called Tragedy. And then going on direct supporting us is a band called Crobot. I don't know if you know who they are, but they're fucking great. And we've toured with them before. They're the singer's, I think he might be a little crazy, in my opinion. He is crazy and he's got so much energy. But I'll tell you what he does for me. He raises the bar. I see him out on stage getting crazy. I'm like, oh, fuck that. You're the opening band. I'm going to come out and fucking rock. And I'm like, well, maybe I should just take it a little easy. I don't want to pull a groin muscle, man.
I mean, you're gonna need that groin muscle for a little bit later. Let's be honest. After the show, that's gonna need to stay intact. But I do know what you're saying about Crobot. I have had him on the podcast back during the pandemic, and then I got to see them last year when they opened up for Gwar, which is like, how is this gonna work? But then you see them live, and it's okay. This totally works. Like this totally makes sense with their style, with their vibe, stage presence. And now I'm thinking, open up for Steel Panther. This makes more sense than many things I've seen in life, especially up to this point. This just makes sense.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, we almost had a whole tour with Lady Gaga. And we're like, how's that going to work, right? And it didn't end up working out, and the Darkness ended up doing it. And they're like, it was killer, man. And they got a lot of fans from it because, you go there and you get to play in front of people who maybe never seen you before, and you get to win new fans over. It's a great way to promote your band. And that's why we tour so much. And not only that, when we play these festivals where there's 20 to 30, 50,000 people there, not everybody is there to see us. They're there for the whole experience, but it gives us a chance to play our music in front of people who've never seen it before. And once we do that, it's a great way to get a bunch of new Steel Panther fans.
And I feel like anytime someone's going to see Steel Panther live, it's, it's almost instantaneous by the time the show is over. It's like, okay, I'm now a fan of Steel Panther. I'm just going to leave it at that. That was too much fun. But I'm just thinking, if you guys actually would have went out with Lady Gaga, holy shit.
I know, it would have been, I don't know. I was like you were saying, Gwar and Crobot. Oh, it sounds weird. That's how I felt. I was like, I don't know, man. That's going to be weird. Because I'm the one singing, I'm the one in the middle, but I think, we did that. We opened up for Judas Priest for like 10 weeks. And that's another one where they're a heavy metal band, but they're a serious heavy metal band, and their audience is serious. And man, we went, I think our first show was in Rochester, New York, and the promoter pushed back the start time. So there's an angry crowd because they wanted to see Judas Priest, and we come out and like, fuck you, where's Judas Priest? And we're like, this is going to be the worst tour ever, man. But then after a while, we figured it out, and we were able to win some fans over. And till this day, as a matter of fact, the last interview I did, the guy said, first time I saw you is when you opened up for Judas Priest. Like, fuck yeah, right?
Yeah, and you want a fan over with that, just from there, you already know you want a fan over at that point. But I even think about this too. Yeah, Judas Priest, that is a dedicated heavy metal band. Their fans are super duper dedicated. It's kind of, I'm trying to think of another band where it's like kind of like I just had them like Guns N' Roses. Like if you're gonna open for Guns N' Roses, people that are going there just really want to see Guns N' Roses, and that's it. You're not really messing.
Kevin, we did that.
Oh, you did that? No.
Yeah, dude. We just got done opening up for Def Leppard and Motley Crue in the UK. We did a whole tour of them.
Okay.
And then we flew back, and we were gonna open up for Guns N' Roses at the Forum here in Los Angeles. And we go to do the show, and we're setting up the equipment, our crew is, and we're getting ready to do sound check. And Guns N' Roses tour manager comes over and says, no sound check. Like, why? Axl's taking a nap. I was like, what? Axl's taking a nap. He shut down the whole Forum. The Forum holds 10,000 people, dude. Axl's like, shut that shit down. I'm taking a nap. I'm like, oh, man. And then I'm like, all right, cool. But that was like the precursor to us going on. We went on stage, and people were like, I mean, we got some people into it, but most people are like, just where's Guns N' Roses? AC/DC could have went on before them, and they'd be like, fuck you. Where's Guns N' Roses? I mean, actual super fans with Raider shirts on and Guns N' Roses. Awesome,
but still, because I was in Welcome to Rockville last year, and it was like Guns N' Roses headline one day. It was supposed before it got rained out, and they ended up, because part of it got rained out the right beforehand, they ended up having to move some things around, and they end up canceling Rise Against's set right before Guns N' Roses. And I was pissed because I fucking love Rise Against. I'm just like, I know why they did it, but why?
I hate when that happens.
Hate it when it happens, but you know what? Especially on this tour you guys got coming up with On the Prowl coming out on the 24th, we don't have to worry about these dates getting canceled because they're just not going to get canceled. We're not going to have to worry about it.
They're not going to get canceled. You are okay to buy tickets. No one's going to get sick. Everything's going to be fine. And, I think that people still are a little bit worried, but also there's another dilemma going on. There are so many bands touring that music enthusiasts have to be selective because there's not enough money to go around to buy all these tickets, Mm-hmm. So you have to like pick the bands you want to go see. But I can guarantee you this. You spend the money on Steel Panther, your hard-earned money that you work for, and you buy one of our tickets to come see us, we will entertain the fuck out of you. And you'll be stoked that you made the choice. And if we suck, you never have to see us again.
That's true. But here's the guarantee on that, though. I mean, you know how I know that guarantee is going to be legit? I mean, I was already going to definitely go and see you guys on the 28th, in March 28th, when you guys are here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But man, I mean, now I'm thinking about, maybe 2 or 3 different days, even though I've been spending money on concerts left and right. I don't give a shit. If it means having a good fucking time with Steel Panther, why wouldn't I go and invest in that? I mean, get lost, enjoy, have a couple of beers, have a couple of 6-packs, and just have a blast. Let's fucking do it, man.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's good for your health and your mental stability.
Steel Panther, good for your health and good for your mental stability.
Perfect. Right? That's cool, right?
Absolutely. Well, Mike, as we bring this one to a conclusion, I know you got to go to another interview. I always like to give my guests at the end of the episode a chance to say whatever they want to say, plug whatever they want to plug, promote whatever they want to promote at the end of the podcast. So, Michael, the floor is yours.
I just want to say we have a brand new guitar pedal out called the 1987. You plug your guitar into it, plug it in the amp, press the button. You sound like Whitesnake met the Scorpions at a Rat concert. It sounds killer. Makes your guitar sound killer. If you want to get one or you want to check it out and see a demo on it, go to steelpantherrocks.com and you can see it there. We have tons of merch up there on the site. And by the way, all the merch that's on our site is not sold at our shows. So it's special to that shop. And the tour shirts are special to the tour. So you can get a bunch of stuff. And I just want to say, Kevin, thanks for having me on, dude. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's nice to talk to somebody who actually likes to talk. It's Awesome. So thank you for that. And man, I look forward to seeing you at the show, dude.
That sounds like a great way to end it. So I'm going to end it with three things. First things first, On the Prowl comes out on the 24th. Best way to go and find everything with Steel Panther, the new album, the pedal, any merch, get in and know them on social media and make sure you get those tickets. Link trip from the podcast, say find Steel Panther online. Everything is going to be there. I'm doing all the work. All you got to do is click and go from there. Now it's time for number 2. Michael, this was so much fun. I always like to make a promise to my guests every time I enjoy having guests in the podcast, which is like every single one. My promise to you is this. On March 28th, I am going to find you at that concert here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to get my backstage pass. I'm going to come back there, and the first round is going to be on me.
All right.
So on that note, Mike, thank you very much. And because I'm going to see you on the 28th, I will see you later.
Later, bro. Take care.
Well, folks, that was our interview with Michael Starr from Steel Panther. And now it's time for Kevin's final thought. I think Michael put it best where when you go to a Steel Panther show, you're going to forget all about the crap in life. You're going to forget all about, the problems that you have with your job, problems that you have with bills, all the subtle annoyances with that. Just all the crap's going world, UFOs, balloons, whatever it is. You're going to be able to live in the moment and lost in the moment when you go and see live music in live, especially rock and metal music. And, Steel Panther, everyone knows what their show's like. They're just high energy, ridiculous, a lot of fun, and just a great time to be around. And I can't wait to go and see them on March 28th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Be sure to join me there if you're able to, because we're going to just have an enjoyable time, get lost in the moment, and just remember that, we are human. We're not just put on this earth just to pay bills and whatnot. We're here to also have a good time, have fun. Let's relax. Let's enjoy. I'd say, don't go overly crazy and, go enjoy too much, but, enjoy to the point where you can go to these shows and just relax, have a good time and enjoy. I keep saying enjoy because when I think live music is like my live music and podcasting, my 2 favorite things, because the energy I get from them is absolutely nuts. Thinking back to that We Came As Roman show I went to on February 15th. That was probably one of the first times in a while that I've been able to just get lost in the moment with everything and just really focus in and enjoy. The energy level was ridiculous, and that's what live music does. Even with Steel Panther, for my style, there's not going to be a mosh pit for Steel Panther, so I'm not really going to be able to do that. But you know what? Let me grab a couple of beers. Let me enjoy the show. Let's have a blast, and let's just get lost and have a good time, yo. So that's kind of the final thought I'm thinking about is Steel Panther has it right. They're going to put on a show to entertain you, have fun, and you're just going to enjoy it and forget about all the other crap that's going on there. Bring your friends, too, because wouldn't you want them to be a part of this at the same time? So when it comes to Steel Panther, their brand new album On the Prowl comes out on February 24th, which if you're watching the podcast the day it comes out is tomorrow. But if it's not the day it comes out, it's already out, so go and check it out. Links to the podcast for it, along with where you can buy the merch, you can buy the guitar pedal. The Rock and Talk app is going to be down there as well. Their dating app, oh yeah, they have a dating app too. They launched on Valentine's Day. We didn't get to talk about it, but you know what? I had a blast anyway talking to Michael about everything else. I wouldn't want it any other way. All their social media is down there as well, and where you can find them online in terms of finding those tickets. So go and do that right now. Also, make sure you're following the Chord Progression Podcast. All our social media links are in the description of the podcast below, so you can check out all the crazy social content we got going on, all the short content we got. Please remember to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. But if you're listening on Spotify Podcast, iHeart Radio, hit that follow button to make sure you become a follower and a supporter of the Chord Progression Podcast. I want to thank you for doing that because I get so much energy doing this stuff, man. I before this episode, I was kind of exhausted. I was kind of down. All of a sudden, just started talking with Michael and just, there we go. You saw that energy just go flying. So make sure you go and follow and support it. I want to thank you for that. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness, for supporting the podcast. 20% off. Use the code CPP20 AFX. Link strip to the podcast. Thank you very much, Michael, for being on the show. I will see you on the 28th of March here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've got to get that backstage pass because, yeah, I got to have a beer with this guy. I have to. I have to at this point. Whoa, the focus on the camera went out a little bit. Okay, let's refocus in there. I got to have a beer with this guy. Yeah. Alrighty, so on that note, that's going to be it for me, guys. You watch this to the Chord Progression Podcast, the gateway to new rock and metal music. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one of the big, healthy, and hearty.